In the gilded cages of high society, everyone knows you don't mess with a married man. Except, apparently, for my husband. Not only is he devastatingly handsome, with legs for days and the lean, hard body of a god, but his wife? A total pushover. You could fool around with him right in front of her, and she wouldn't do a thing. I heard Mrs. Leach used to be a real tigress. Felix couldn't even hire a female assistant without her raising hell with the entire Leach family council. That was just Felix spoiling her. He's tired of that game now. Look at her, meek as a mouse. My best friend, visiting me for the afternoon, overheard the whispers. She was furious, ready to drag me to a lawyer's office to divorce Felix Leach on the spot. I quickly stopped her. First, I said, my voice low, he has no idea I had him sterilized. He can't produce an heir to challenge our son's inheritance. Second, the more he plays around, the more power over the Leach empire falls into my hands. And third, he's drinking and screwing his way to an early grave. Why would I divorce a man who's doing all my work for me? I should be thanking him. My friend left, satisfied. But when I walked into my own home, the scene on the living room sofa froze me in place. Felix's back was to me. The woman straddling his lap was. She seemed to startle, shrinking back into his arms as if she just noticed me. Felix's broad chest enveloped her, and he patted her back reassuringly. It's fine, he murmured. She won't dare do anything. The girl's eyes were misty, whether from passion or fear, I couldn't tell. I'm sorry, I didn't know you had a wife. Is that right? For the first time ever, I interrupted one of Felix's affairs. Not because my heart was breaking, but because I was genuinely shocked. I could understand strangers not knowing, but this girl? How could she not know? I remembered her in the orphanage, her eyes sparkling as she told me she wanted to be a woman who could stand tall on her own 2 feet. I took her in. I called in favors, sent her to the best business schools abroad. She grew exactly according to the plan I'd laid out for her. She used to fume with righteous anger whenever she heard rumors of Felix's cheating. She once spat on a photograph of him. I wouldn't have cared who was on his lap. But Lily? That was something I couldn't quite accept. Didn't she promise me she was going to be a woman who could stand tall? But I heard your wife is a notorious tigress. I'm scared. Lily trembled in his arms. Felix draped his jacket over her bare shoulders, then stood, positioning himself between us. I'm the one who pursued her, he said, his voice hard. If you have a problem, you take it up with me. My gaze lingered on the girl behind him for a moment longer. I sighed. I turned and walked into the bedroom. As the door clicked shut, I heard his voice, soft and coaxing. Don't worry, sweetheart. The whole tigress thing is ancient history. She won't touch you now. I leaned against the window, exhaling a slow plume of smoke. He wasn't wrong. When we first got married, I was a different woman. If Felix so much as looked at another woman for too long, I'd make him regret it for a week. Hiring a new female assistant? That was grounds for me to call a full meeting with the Leach family elders. His friends all laughed, saying he'd married a shrew. He would just smile and say a happy wife meant a happy life, and that they were all just jealous. He loved spoiling me, indulging my every whim, and he forbade anyone from calling me a tigress. Under my strict supervision, his business flourished. Then, one day, out of nowhere, he changed. Are you ever going to let up? He'd snarled, his patience finally snapping. It hit me then. Felix wasn't that small-time business owner anymore. He was Felix Leach, CEO, a man with his own pride, his own power. He stopped hiding the lipstick stains on his collar. He fired the brilliant executive assistant I'd handpicked for him and replaced her with a string of pretty faces he preferred. The women came and went, a revolving door of faces. And those same friends who once called me a tigress now clapped him on the back. Now that's more like it. This is how a man should live. From the living room, the woman's moans grew deliberately louder. I hadn't realized Lily was the type to gloat. I slipped in my earbuds and said nothing. After it was all over, Lily, wrapped in nothing but a towel, knocked on my door. Aurora, she began. I want to explain. Oh, don't bother. I tried to step past her, but she blocked my way. I used to hate him. I really did. But she paused. I stared at her, waiting. She took a deep breath as if steeling herself for a confession. But one day, I realized that what I could kill myself trying to achieve, I could get